That was very powerful. And I began to want to express this newfound sense of joy and relationship with God and an understanding of the Jewishness within a musical context. And I began to write Messianic songs. But there was nobody to look to say, well, I want to do it the way he does it or she does it. There wasn't anybody else around. It was something completely new. And so what I did was I took the old, I shouldn't say the old, I took the folk rock sound of the day that I enjoyed, the pop sound of the day, and combined it with the ancient Jewish feels and some of the Jewish keys, minor keys and so forth. And put them together, scrambled them up, and out came a new sound, Messianic music. And Lamb started in 1972. We actually started playing together in the summer of 72. And by the end of 72, we had gone into the studio and recorded our first album for about $2,000. Rick, my partner in the group, called in some of his buddies. He was a studio guitarist. He played with James Brown. He was a secular artist that became a believer, delivered from drugs, very serious addiction. But he brought in his friends from a group that was at that time not famous, but became famous, Pure Prairie League. I don't know if you know that group.
Yep.
But they had a song called "Amy, what you gonna do?" It's a big hit. It was the only hit that they had. But at that time, they were just a band. And he brought in a couple of those guys. They came in, and with a couple other players, and we did the whole album in about 2 or 3 days. And we played our first concert in the Chicago area at the Erie Crown Theater. It was a Jesus People concert. 4,000 people were there. We were just one of a few groups. And we sauntered out onto the stage, and we had 1,000 of our albums, of our vinyls, in the back, ready to sell. And nobody had ever heard of us, seen us. I had long hair, a scraggly beard. I looked the part. He looked the part too. Rick did. In fact, it was kind of annoying because Rick, everybody thought he was the Jewish one. I was the Jewish one. He was not Jewish. But they thought he was the Jewish one. Why? Because he looked exactly like the pictures of Jesus that you see, plastered around. Now that Jesus doesn't look Jewish, but because that was the picture that they knew, he looked exactly like that picture. And so they thought he was the Jewish one, and I was not. It was just a little annoying, but it was okay. But anyway, we stepped out on the stage, and we strummed our first songs. And we were singing a little bit of Hebrew, English. They didn't know what this was. I mean, they thought we were singing in tongues half the time. They didn't know. It was just Hebrew, but they didn't know. But it was cool. And they went back, they bought out all of our albums, and for the next 8 weeks, we were the #1 selling group in the Chicago area, and then very quickly spread across the country. And the Messianic sound was born. It was popularized. It went right to the radio, Christian radio, all across the country. And for 10 years, we were right at the top of the charts. As soon as we come out with an album, we were top 5 groups in the country. This song that I'm going to sing now, "The Sacrifice Lamb," was our signature song. This was the song that catapulted the Messianic sound. I don't know why this song. Maybe it was a very simple verse, chorus, and it's the Jewish gospel in a very simple but Jewish form. I don't know why. I would not have picked that particular song as being the big hit, but it just captured everybody's imagination and took off across the country and really popularized the Messianic sound and made a way and caused it to appear on everybody's radar. Tens of thousands of young kids